Hey YouTube, what's going on? Today's video is going to be all about hood scoops. I just want to talk about the hood scoops that come stock on the SRTs, and then I want to discuss those who have decided to change out their hoods for the Demon hood. If you're not familiar with the Demon hood, that has a giant hood scoop on the front, give you that ram air option. I want to discuss some pros and cons of those real quick, and let you know that these are actually pretty good hood scoops on the factory SRTs themselves. So let's get to it. So right here I have my stock 2017 SRT hood, and I want to do a quick explanation on why these are a great factory option for a hood, and why I haven't changed mine out yet. A popular option for a lot of people and enthusiasts is the Demon hood. If you're not familiar with the Demon hood, it has a center ram air right here, giant hood scoop that allows fresh air obviously to go into the engine bay to help cool it down. Gives you a little bit of ram air action for that, to kind of push the hot air out of the engine. I'm a pretty big fan of the stock intake or the stock hood scoops themselves. So obviously when you're kind of just sitting still, these hood vents here, they're active. So if I were to show my camera down here, you can kind of see through there and see the engine bay itself. So these are true active hood scoops or heat vents, whatever you want to call them. So obviously, hot air rises and cold air is more dense, so it kind of sinks slower. So you have right here your hot air just coming out of the car, which helps the engine cool down that much faster when the car is just sitting still. So they are active hood scoops. But kind of the science really kicks in when you start driving this vehicle. It kind of performs the same way a semi-truck does, or a tractor-trailer when it's driving down the road. If you ever notice that when a tractor-trailer drives past you, you can't feel the initial push, and that's kind of the air getting out of the way of the tractor-trailer. So, as you're driving down the road, your air is going to go up, down, left, and right, and it's going to get pushed out the way of the vehicle. And then behind the vehicle, it's going to create a vacuum because of that. So in the absence of air, obviously you have a vacuum. And then that vacuum pulls air back into it. So as the tractor-trailer passes by you, initially you get pushed away from it, and then when it passes you get sucked back into it, and that's that push and pull action I'm referring to. Now the same thing happens to your hood scoops. So on these vehicles, as the air kind of glides over the hood and goes over away from the hood itself, you're going to create a suction behind this hood scoop, which is actually going to force some of this hot air out of the engine, and it's going to kind of yank it out there, creating that vacuum behind it. Obviously the same thing goes to the left hand side. So the faster you drive, the more air gets pushed into the vehicle from the front, from the radiator, and then gets sucked back out through these active hood vents. So it's a pretty good design by itself. Now the Demon hoods themselves, obviously they had that big hood here, but the hood scoop acts kind of like a wing, and creates a little bit of lift and drag on the vehicle. So as the air is going into this hood scoop, it's going to want to stay straight, and then of course hood scoop is going to curve downwards, but as it goes straight, the air is going to want to stay straight, which creates a little bit of lift right there. So right at the main intake portion of this hood vent and the hood scoop, you're going to create a little bit of lift right there and drag. So as you're going faster and faster, obviously you get more and more of a drag coefficient on there, which slows the car down just a little bit, versus these stock ones don't, because they don't mess with the aerodynamics. It still has the same rounded portion in the front, but kind of dips down here, which creates that vacuum again to allow the hot air to get pushed out or pulled out. That's the reason I haven't changed out my hood to the Demon hood. The Demon hood's a great option, obviously. I'm a huge fan of it. It looks pretty cool. But for my own purposes, I'm going to stick to the stock hoods on the SRTs. I think they look pretty good. They obviously serve their purpose, and they work great for me. So yeah, guys, if you want to hear more about this kind of content, hey guys, so if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I have a ton more videos on the way. I'm getting into the science behind how things work, and some must mods and all that kind of good stuff. So there's more on the way. Thanks, guys.